S&P 500.
It's your boy, Jimmy. Jimmy.
Now, what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil doesn't make up.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning I want to turn on this Becky quick. While the average man looking at this sad life. She fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like, yeah, 5'6". I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want to stop it. I know that booty got dry, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's from pushing hot strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounce. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, grow with the marijuana. Waking up with the fun, some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and stop. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETFs, make profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. Yeah. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call it short squeeze. You get the drop, she pull the trigger and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and stop. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETFs. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? And make profits. Hey, Shug, Mike, what we doing? And make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? And make profits. That TTG money gang. And making profits. We some snipers.
Hey, yo, what's up, everyone? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. My name is Michael Edward Parinati. I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group. I'm thrilled to have you guys with me here today. Before we dive into tonight's session, I want to thank our partners and data providers over at Benzinga, TradingView, Trade Ideas, NASDAQ, CBOE, OpenAI. Without those companies are the foundation of what powers True Trading Group. We're grateful to be able to provide our platform with their data and tools integrated to help you guys all to learn, trade, and profit consistently. Now, this innovation has not gone unnoticed at True Trading Group. You see, just last year in 2023, we were at Benzinga FinTech Awards finalists last year for the best data analysis tool, and we're coming for that first spot this year. This isn't just about winning awards, though. It's about being part of a community that's constantly growing, learning, and pushing the boundaries of what is possible in trading and investing. Members of True Trading Group are part of something special, and I couldn't be prouder to be on this journey with all of you. All right. We got some great stuff to go over here today on this stream. It is all about earnings with regards to Palo Alto coming out with earnings here after the bell. It is a beat for Palo Alto, and we got a busy week in store for you all. All right, this is going to be a week where we're going to be going over talking about really what the Fed is going to be doing regarding rate hikes regarding rate cuts. We have the Jackson Hole speech that's coming out on Friday. We've got Fed minutes happening here on Wednesday, and we've got a bunch of Fed members that are speaking throughout. And then you got some earnings this week as well. All right, you're starting off the earnings here today with Palo Alto, which is the big one from this evening, and more companies will be coming out as the week goes on, like Snowflake. You got NVIDIA coming out next week. So a lot to talk about as the markets continue their upward push and continue their push back up towards all-time highs after experiencing a 10% correction, which is totally normal in the markets. We've taken that correction all the way back, and you're now a stone throw away from all-time highs. There's only a couple of resistance levels left before the S&P sees new all-time highs yet again. Now, if you're wondering why you should listen to anything it is that I discuss on this channel or why you should pay attention to these lives, is because I did not figure this stuff out on my own. I began my trading career at T3 Alpha Fund in New York City, my first job out of college. And while there, they had me go through an educational training program before they ever let me touch $1 of the fund's money. Then 2008 happened, and that was the Great Recession, the big stock market crash, but also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Now you fast forward, I'm the co-founder and head trader at True Trading Group, along with my team of 8 other professional full-time trading mods and an over 30-person staff. We've helped thousands of members from all over the world reach their goals. So if you folks are ready to learn, trade, and profit for real, you've come to the right place. 6 nights a week, Sunday through Friday, we go live on this channel where myself, other mods, and special guests will drop golden nuggets, give you free lessons, education, and trade ideas that can help you guys all become better traders. So if you've not yet done so, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Make sure you guys never miss out on any of these lives. Let's talk about earnings. It's Palo Alto trading to the upside. We're up 7% on the day, trading up about 3.5% after hours after Palo Alto comes out with their earnings. Palo Alto is a stock that is in the long-term portfolio. It is also a stock that was added in the long-term portfolio on August 5th. Now, for those of you that are not members of True Trading Group, you may not be aware of this, but those of you that are members certainly are, because on August 5th, yes, the day that people on social media told you that the sky was falling, the day that people that were calling for a market crash in 2022, again in 2023, all throughout 2024, had their 5 minutes of fun in the sun. They had their minutes to shine as the markets pulled back, and the people got very, very loud on social media, and they told you that this was it. This was the great extinction event that was going to cause this 80% decline in the markets, and you should pull your money out of the market at that time. However, us in True Trading Group, with clear, level heads and prevailing minds, stepped in there on August 5th, and we took advantage of what happens almost every single year in the stock market, and that is a 10% correction. I told all of my members on August 5th, I'm adding in my long-term portfolio. We bought stocks like Palantir, Uber, Kava, NVIDIA, Palo Alto being one of them. Okay, Amazon, a lot of these, all of our tech stocks that we already own. These are names that we added to. CrowdStrike, another one that CrowdStrike saw a big decline on August 5th. You look back and you look at the move that these stocks have made so far off of just the August 5th decline. It's insane. You're already up about 40% on Palantir. You're up about 30% on Kava. That's also Kava. They've got earnings this week as well. I'm bullish on Kava. I can't wait to see what the earnings are going to be. I'm long Kava for much lower prices. I'm looking to hold on to that for the next many years. So we'll see what the earnings come out with. Be careful on Kava, though, at this price point. The PE is getting a bit rich. All right, so we got to see what the earnings are going to show. But nonetheless, the point that I'm making is that be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. You see, what happens in the market every single year, almost in every single year, I mean, like the odds of it happening every 1 to 2 years is extremely high, is a 10% correction. I mean, the markets pull back 10%, okay? That's a correction. A bear market is 20%. That happens even less frequently. That happens maybe every 4 years. Then you have a recession, which is even less frequent than that. That's about a 35% decline in the markets, and that's good for every maybe 7 to 8 years. And then you have the worst possible case scenario, which is a severe recession, which is the least common scenario and the least common outcome, and that's a 40 to 50% decline in the index. What I will say to you is this: do not ever, regardless of what anybody tells you on social media, do not ever position yourself for the least likely outcome. That's like if we went to Vegas together and instead of you betting red or black, you put all of your money on 00 every single spin. It is the least probable outcome. Stop doing that. It's called a sucker's bet for a reason. It's like going to the craps table and putting all of your money on snake eyes. It is a sucker's bet. It's called a sucker's bet for a reason. It is because the payout is very large, but the frequency of outcome is extremely low, to where if you continue to bet that sucker's bet, you are going to do nothing but consistently lose money. You'll win once in a while, but over the long run, you will consistently lose money. It is not a consistent strategy that will ever turn you a profit. So what you need to start doing is positioning yourself for what is most probable. I have a hard, steadfast rule when it comes to long-term investing in my portfolio, and that is when the markets are down 10% or more. That's a correction. I don't care why. I don't care how fast. I don't care what the reason is. I always buy something because it's the most probable. It's the most common outcome is that 10% decline does not lead to a 20% bear market. Then if the markets do go down 20% or more, then I make big buys. I don't back up the truck down 10%, but I buy something. Okay. I didn't back up the truck on August 5th. I backed up the truck in 2020. I then backed the truck up again in 2022, but I just bought some stuff and nibbled on some things on August 5th because the market, the index, the S&P was down 10%. The NASDAQ was down even more than 10%. So I took advantage of that pullback and that massive gap down when everybody was running around with their hair on fire, and I bought stuff on August 5th. Literally just 2 days, not even 2 days, after I just got home from the hospital after the birth of my first kid, my daughter, Alara. So that was, kind of right now makes me look like a genius because all these stocks are up and they're up significantly over a very short period of time. So down 10%, I buy something. Down 20%, I buy big chunks. Down 30% plus, I'm fully invested. And if you ever have a severe recession scenario like in 2008, then the markets are not going to recover quickly. When you have severe recessions, that means things break and it takes time for those things to be fixed. So if I'm fully invested down 35%, then I'll just take income, set it aside month after month, and I'll just continue to dollar cost average down over the next year or so as you have depressed prices after a severe recession. But I'm never, ever, 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 ever going to just sit here and position myself and plan for the worst possible scenario. Simple as that. That's what's worked for me my entire investing career. And that's what I think is going to continue to work for me for the remainder of my entire investment career. Okay. So let's get on over to Palo Alto. Let's talk about these earnings. Palo Alto is a beat on top and bottom line. Earnings per share, $1.51. Analysts were expecting $1.41. Sales, $2.189 billion against analyst expectations of $2.162 billion. And they see Q1 earnings per share, $1.47 to $1.49. Versus analyst expectations of 143. They see revenue of 2.1 to 2.13 billion versus analyst expectations of 2.1. They see full year 25 earnings per share 618 to 631 against analyst expectations of 619. And they see revenue of 9.1 to 9.15 billion versus analyst expectations of 9.11 billion. And they also authorized an additional $500 million for their share buyback program. Okay. So that is the news that we've got cooking for Palo Alto. Now, Palo Alto is breaking above a key level of resistance that we need to talk about right here. It's 345. You can see here this resistance level of 345 back here in the end of June and early July. And then we got up and ran up into that level here just last week. And then now today on that back of earnings, we're gapping above that level. Okay. Now, I do think that this level up here of your all-time high of 380, I do think that that's going to be a pretty good level of resistance. I think it's possible you can see Palo Alto climb a little bit higher up towards that all-time high, but I do think that there is a potential of a double top in play here for Palo Alto. What I don't think we're going to see, what I don't think we're going to see is this gap up, continue to push towards that all-time high, and then break that all-time high. I do not think that this is what we're going to see on Palo Alto. I actually think that getting up into that 380 all-time high and then maybe pulling back from there. Okay, so that's what I'm kind of looking for from Palo Alto. Okay, there are 3 stocks really that make up the core holdings of my cybersecurity positions in my long-term portfolio: Palo Alto is one of them. Fortinet is the other. And CrowdStrike is the third. Okay, so I own CrowdStrike, I own Palo Alto, and I own Fortinet. Okay, all of these stocks were added to on August 5th, and all of these stocks were added to in May and June of 2022. So there was May and there was June. Okay, so these were the times that we had added to these positions: May and June of 2022 for CrowdStrike, May and June of 2022 for Palo Alto, May and June of 2022 for Fortinet. You can see where these stocks are now all currently sitting. And then, of course, the August 5th. I'm sorry, I did not. Wait, oh, yes, I did. Fortinet, I did. Okay, yeah, Fortinet, I did. I'm sorry. I thought first I was looking at the wrong. I have another chart. I have more charts on other screens that you guys can't see, and I actually pulled up the wrong chart over there, which made me hesitate there for a second. But yes, all of these got added to on August 5th. All right. I'm bullish on cybersecurity for the long term. I don't see how anyone could not be bullish on cybersecurity. I am. I'm bullish on cybersecurity. I'm bullish on all things AI. I'm bullish on semiconductors, obviously, but I'm also bullish on software names. One earnings release that's coming out this week that I'm very, very, very interested in is Snowflake. Now, Snowflake is a stock that I initiated a position in 2022 at $116.84. That is the price that I own Snowflake at. The price of the stock is currently trading at 131. They have earnings this week. Now, a lot of people were a little nervous about Snowflake because Warren Buffett announced that he had sold a Snowflake position. But at the same time, Snowflake is Brad Gerstner's largest position at a 19% weighting. I like Snowflake. I was disappointed a few months ago when the CEO stepped down. Still going to sit on as a director and chair of the board, but stepped down as CEO. I was bummed out about that because I really liked the CEO. And the stock started to go back to the downside. The stock was all the way up at $230. And then the CEO stepped away and you got a big decline there on Snowflake over the last several months. You guys can see. And I did not add to it. Okay. I also did not add to it on August 5th. And I want to wait and see what those earnings are going to look like. I wish I did. I mean, August 5th, we got all the way down to $110. It's back to 130, but I did not add to it on August 5th. I want to wait and see what these earnings look like. And I want to see how the new CEO does. Okay. We did double bottom here at this 110. This seems to be a huge level of support for Snowflake. You guys can see the all-time lows right there back in 2022. And then you bottomed out right there here just this past week or 2 weeks ago. But I'm not sold yet. I'm not convinced that the coast is clear to be adding to the position. So I'm waiting for this earnings announcement here this week. I want to see how they're going to do. When it comes to software, the reason why I think a lot of these software names have not performed all that well, it's Snowflake, it's Salesforce, like it's Datadog. These are all stocks that I do own, by the way. I own Datadog, I own Snowflake, I own Salesforce. But you can see these stocks have not done as well. Salesforce has done pretty good, but some of these software names have not done as well as some of your semiconductors. And the reason for that, I believe, is they have not been able to take advantage of the AI spending spree that we've seen in a lot of the semiconductor names. And it makes a lot of sense when you think about it. This is what I want you guys to think about this for a second. I want you to think about AI spend from all these big tech companies. Like all these big tech companies, they're all trying to, implement and build out all of this AI technology and these AI operations, and the computing power that's needed for these operations is massive, right? I want you to think of the spending that these tech companies are doing with regards to AI and to build out their AI capabilities. I want you to think about it like building a house. When you build a house, which is the first thing that you need to do, you need to pour the concrete foundation and you need to put up the wood framing. The wood framing and the concrete foundation is like the semiconductors when it comes to AI. You need semiconductors to build out the infrastructure and the computing power in order to achieve the capabilities and the AI capabilities and AI operations that these companies are trying to achieve. Okay, that's your foundation and your wood framing. That's the semiconductors. That's the hardware. That's the infrastructure. Once the house is built, though, you then need to do what? You have to furnish the house. You got to put art on the wall. That's your software. So right now you're seeing this initial AI spending spree. CEOs and CFOs are allocating all that AI investment to the foundation and the foundation and the wood framing, the hardware, the semiconductors. They are benefiting from the AI spend, not software. But I think you're going to see a shift in that spend over the next several years as these companies continue to build out and their infrastructure and their wood framing of their AI capabilities matures and their products become finalized. You then need to dress them up. And then that's where the software component is going to come into play. So I think that you're going to see over the next couple of years that spending start to move away from semiconductors. And I think you're going to start to see it hit some of the software names. I could be wrong. This is my opinion. These are my thoughts, but this is why I believe that software names have not performed as well as some of your semiconductors. I think that's the reason why. So I do own Snowflake. I own Datadog. I own Salesforce. I own a bunch of other software names, but I do like the growth potential on Snowflake a lot. It's not a very large position for me in my long-term portfolio. It's nothing like an NVIDIA or an Apple or Microsoft. But I want my position in Snowflake to be bigger than it is. So I did not add on the pullback in June. I did not add on the pullback on August 5th like I did my other tech names because I'm waiting to see what this earnings release is going to be. I want this new CEO to really show me what they're capable of and what this company is going to look like with them at the helm for the next several years. Okay. So that's where I'm at. Okay. That's what I'm looking for there from Snowflake. So we'll see. They have earnings this week. And then obviously you have NVIDIA earnings next week. I think NVIDIA is the 28th. Well, like Palo Alto just go red. Maybe their conference call is going on. Let me see. Yeah, you just had a pullback. Let me see if I have anything on my news feed, if anything was just said. I don't see anything else. I don't see anything new. I'm not sure why I just had that pullback there on Palo Alto. I'm not sure. I don't even think their conference call started yet. 440. I'm on the live stream with you guys, obviously, so I can't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if their conference call has started or not. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why I just had a pullback there on Palo Alto. So Palo Alto did not hold the 345. Okay, so there's your 345 level that we discussed earlier. You didn't hold it, which is concerning. The fact that you were not able to hold that previous resistance level is concerning. You have that low of the earnings print is all the way down here at 323, which is a real print. We did actually print that as soon as the earnings came out. You printed that 323, and then you shot all the way up to 362. Now you're back to 336. I'm not sure why, if there's a catalyst there. There has to be, because look at the volume that just came in there. You're looking at 160,000 shares on that 3-minute candle, which is a lot of volume for an after-hours trade. Earnings or not, that's a lot of volume for an after-hours move. So I'm assuming that there must have been a statement or something from the CEO or the CFO. We'll have to look into that on why you just had that. Did we get any moves from CrowdStrike on that? CrowdStrike too, following suit. So CrowdStrike also moving to the downside a little bit following that move on Palo Alto. I'm not sure what the catalyst is behind that, but it certainly looks like there's some type of a kind of breaking news there. We'll see, because you can see the volume here is not typical. See that volume right here, this volume bar right there? That's not a typical volume bar. So usually you see big increases in volume like that when they're algo reactions based on some type of a comment from either a CEO or CFO following their earnings release. So I'll look into that more for you guys. But nonetheless, does not change anything. I'm still bullish on cybersecurity. I still own all of these stocks. I'm not selling them. But from a day trade perspective for tomorrow, this would be a trade for me if tomorrow we opened above that 345. If you open above 345, I'll look to trade it tomorrow. If you open beneath it, I probably will not be looking to trade Palo Alto. Probably won't be on my watch list. All right. Probably will not be on the watch list if we open anywhere really where we are now. We really would have to get back up here to like 350 in order for me to have this on my list for a possible trade idea for tomorrow. All right. If not, it won't be on the list. All right. And that's really the only earnings release that you had here today. All right. This is really the only earnings release that you had. Earnings will get a little bit more active as the week goes on. And then we'll have all the catalysts. We got the Fed minutes on Wednesday. There's also something else happening on Wednesday that you guys should all be made aware of. The Bureau of Labor is going to be making revisions on Wednesday for the job growth from 2023 to 2024. Now, we want to pay attention to this because, like, California is one example. California actually made a revision to their job numbers from 23 to 24, which actually showed that all of the job growth that they showed from 23 to 24 actually was revised out. So they had none. And that was just from the state of California. So that's on a state level. The Department of Labor or the Bureau of Labor, that's a nationwide, that's a federal government body. It's nationwide. And we might be getting some revisions this Wednesday, the 21st. So I'm interested to see if there's a big change on those job gain numbers. So much of the job growth this year has come from government jobs. And that's just because, our government's been spending so much money. There's a lot of different programs. We also have construction jobs are on the rise, which is weird during an economic slowdown, but that's from the Infrastructure Act. If you're going to build that infrastructure, you're going to need construction jobs. So typically when the economy slows, you see a direct correlation with construction jobs slowing. This period is actually the opposite. You've seen the economy slow with construction jobs actually rise. That's from the infrastructure bill. Okay. So that's why you're actually seeing construction jobs go up, even though other areas of the economy are pulling back and are going down. But I'm interested to see what those numbers are going to be. If there's any big revision from that could be a catalyst that can move the market that not enough people are maybe talking about. It's kind of like something that's kind of like in the shadows. And then you got the Jackson Hole meeting on Friday, which I think is the biggest catalyst of the week. It is highly anticipated that the Fed is going to cut rates September meeting. They will have a 50 basis point cut. Most probable is a 25 basis cut. Least probable is no cut at all. But it's going to be interesting to see if Jerome Powell kind of gives the green light for that cut in September. One thing Jerome Powell is very good at, is kind of signaling to the market what they're going to do. He's been very good at making sure that he never surprises the market, okay? And that's done very strategically with the things that he says and the things that the rest of the Fed members say when they go out and they do all their speaking engagements. You have a bunch of Fed members that are speaking tomorrow as well. But the big one is going to be Jerome Powell on Friday at the Jackson Hole Symposium. It's the most highly anticipated speech by the Fed chair. Every market participant from all areas and all corners of the globe are going to be paying attention to what Jerome Powell is going to say at that conference. All right. And I think that's got potentials to really move this market in a big way. Speaking of the overall markets, we pushed up into an area that is you're running out of resistance zones. Okay. I talked to you guys on my live stream last night about looking for like 557 resistance, high 550s. We pushed through that today. You got higher than 557. Okay. I thought you see this line I drew on my screen here. See this line right here? This is the line I drew from last night. I thought that that's where the markets would kind of find a little resistance today. You can see we pushed a little bit further through it. And now you have one resistance and then two resistance left. Okay. You have two levels left that are your resistance levels. One is 560. That's today's high, actually. But that's also gap entry. Okay. Now, if you guys recall, the pullback that we experienced in July started with a wipeout gap down on July 17th. Now, what that means is the market closed at the dead high, all-time high, record close, all-time intraday high. Markets close on the 16th and then wipe out gap down on the 17th and catches everybody long, traps them all on the gap down, and the sell-off ensues, right? That gap down creates this open gap, and then that gives you gap entry. That gap entry at 560 is resistance. If you break through that, your next resistance is a gap fill, which is also your all-time high. So then gap fill all-time high 565 becomes your last line in the sand for resistance before the market's potentially make a new all-time high. I still do not believe that we're going to just rip to a new all-time high. Now, I said this last night on my live stream. People were asking what's more probable. Do we break that all-time high, or do we push up into it and then pull back and then consolidate? I think it's more likely that we push up into this all-time high, find some resistance here around this 560, and then pull back into the 550s and then consolidate. That's what I think is the most likely scenario. But this rip your face off rally off that gap down, I think just goes to show you how much cash there is sitting on the sideline, that as soon as you got a technical correction in the market, and by technical, I mean more than a 10% decline, you saw some of the $6 trillion that are sitting in money market funds. You saw some of that $6 trillion come into the stock market. And then you get this move from 510 up to 560. So you're looking at, nearly a 10% move back to the upside in just a matter of a couple weeks. That has left us with just tremendous trading opportunities. That has left us with tremendous trading opportunities, guys, because of the volatility that we're seeing. Okay. This volatility is providing not just day trading opportunities, but it's providing swing trading opportunities. And the TTG fam has been able to capitalize on this. We had some great monster trades today. Last week was a great week. We had, I think, 4 or 5 triple-digit gains last week. We had 133% gain on D-Nut call options. We had 150% gain on United Health call options. We had, I think, a 70% gain on Taiwan Semi, a 66% gain on Tesla, 40% gain on UPST. Okay. So this is what you can expect in this environment. And I actually just posted, I shared a message on my Twitter. One of our members sent me a message and said that since June 29th, they're averaging $500 a day. I mean, how many of you would die to be able to trade and get an average $500? That's average $500 a day, which means, that's also factoring in red days. So they're averaging $500 a day, which is absolutely fantastic. So congratulations to that member. I posted it. I shared it on my Twitter account, my X account. If you guys want to follow me on X, please go ahead. Go to at Mike Edward _TTG. Again, that is at Mike Edward _TTG. If you guys want to give me a follow there on X, it's at Mike Edward _TTG. I'm always sharing trade ideas and market commentary and news and everything else on that page. So if you guys want to go ahead and give me a follow there. But that kind of brings me to something else that I wanted to actually talk to everybody about here on this YouTube Live, because something happened today that just really breaks my heart. And I want to just make myself very clear. Myself or anybody at True Trading Group will never, ever, under any circumstance, contact you on social media asking you to send us crypto. Nobody at True Trading Group will ever trade your money for you. No one will ask you to send Bitcoin to this address or whatever, and we're going to send you, statement accounts and everything else. Okay? None. No one. Doesn't exist. Not a thing. Okay? Not a thing. And it bothers me because my nose, I have an itch. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. It bothers me because one of our members was actually scammed by somebody or a group or whatever into sending $20,000 of Bitcoin. With the false hopes that I was going to trade that money for them. This is fake. It's a scam. It is not us. Nobody will ever do that. Ever. So if somebody's ever reached out to you on social media asking of such, report that account immediately. It is not me. It is not TTG. It is not anyone associated with TTG. No such thing exists. Oh, my nose. No such thing exists. Okay? No such thing exists. All right? Does not exist. So I want to make myself clear. Who's new? Who's not a member of True Trading Group that's on this live right now? So you just type the letters TTG if you guys are not a member of True Trading Group. Type the letters TTG. Joe, Joseph, what's up? Luibo Antonov is a winner. Type the letters TTG if you guys are not a member of True Trading Group. Again, if you are not a member of True Trading Group, type the letters TTG. I want to just see who we have in here that's maybe not part of the community, because if you guys are not a member, then you don't know. We have all of our social media accounts that are listed on our website and everything else. So if you guys are not part of the community, just go ahead and type TTG. It bothers me when I see someone that loses money like that and gets fooled by one of those scams, because essentially the reason why that person, sent that Bitcoin, okay, is because of the trust that they've, the trust they have in us, the trust they have in myself, the trust they have in Adam, the trust they have in True Trading Group, that they're so just willing to somebody send you a Facebook message and then you just send $20,000 Bitcoin, $20,000 worth of Bitcoin, just like that. I mean, guys, that's because of the trust that we built, that someone is even willing to do something like that or fall for that scam. And that bothers me. It bothers me that someone trusts us that much to where they're just going to let their guard down like that. When someone sends a Facebook message says, hey, I'll trade your money for you, send me Bitcoin. Guys, that's not us. That's not me. That's not True Trading Group. It never will be. Never will be. Okay? Never will be. So we got Cricket, we got America, we got Eugene. So some non-members here that are joining us on the live. I just, that's what bothers me. But that trust has been built over years of transparency, over years of success, and years of progress, and years of giving a damn and building out a platform that has allowed thousands of members to be able to reach their goals. And the reality is that members make money with True Trading Group, guys. Not just because I think that's to be the case, but that is a lot of the reason why people have so much trust in what it is that we do in True Trading Group, is because members have success. And it's not because I just think that to be the case. It's because that's what members actually tell us. And I'll have them tell you. Members, go ahead and type the number 1 if you guys are making money and becoming better traders with TTG. Just go ahead and type the number 1. So anyone here that's not a member, you should pay attention and watch how many people type the number 1, because every single person that's going to type the number 1 is someone that has made money and is becoming a better trader and is telling you that, hey, I can do this and I am doing this, and if they can do it, then so can you. There's no reason why these people that are going to type the number 1, they're not luckier than you. They're not smarter than you. They don't have more money than you. They don't have more experience than you. All of these people are here telling you that they're making money and they're becoming better traders. And 82% of them actually have a full-time job. So if they can do this, then so can you. There's no reason why you can't. And, last night we actually had the cutoff for the promotion sale that I've been running. Because, for those that don't know, I just had a daughter. I've celebrated the birth of my daughter just a couple of weeks ago, and we were running a sale for people to come join True Trading Group with everything that I had going on, and just I was feeling good and feeling emotional and everything else. So I, offered something really nice for people that wanted to join in. A lot of people have taken advantage of it, but I want everybody to be able to capitalize on what's happening in this market and not try to take shortcuts. There is no shortcut to reaching your goals. There's no shortcut to getting rich. There's no get rich quick scheme. Everybody here has, I'm sure, similar goals, which is to achieve some level of profitability in the markets, whether you want to supplement your income, replace your income, or just build generational wealth, whatever it is. Everybody here has some type of resemblance of the same goal, which evolves around making money. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. We're not here to make friends. We're here to make money. So I want people to be able to understand and realize that the path in order for you to reach your goals, it does exist. It's out there. It's right in front of you right here, right now, as you just saw hundreds of people of True Trading Group tell you. But the second you try to cheat that process, the second you try to cut corners, the second that you try to skip the line, is when you're going to get hurt. That's when bad things happen. That's when your greed will allow you to fall victim and be blinded by greed and fall for a scam, like someone saying, send me $20,000 in Bitcoin, I'll trade for you. Because that's what happened. Greed blinded someone from their rational thought process because they wanted to reach their goals faster. It's not the way to be successful in the stock market. It's just not. So because of what happened today, and this just happened today, where one of our members, kind of fell for this, and I wanted to make sure I brought this up on the live stream to make people aware so we can raise awareness about what's going on so that, we can prevent somebody else from falling victim to that scam. I'm going to extend the sale that we had last night for one more day until midnight tonight. Okay, I am going to extend it until midnight tonight. Now, that sale that I was running last night gave you access to a membership to True Trading Group for a full year for just a measly $500. I mean, you're talking dirt insanely cheap. And for that $500, you guys are going to be getting access to all of our courses. There's no upsell for those courses. You're going to get access to Benzinga Pro's news feed. You're going to get TradingView's premium charting software, 1,000 hours of workshops and videos covering different topics from our mods, unusual options activity, options flow, dark pool data. All of these things are included with a $500 membership fee. All you have to do is go to ttgoffer.com. Again, that is ttgoffer.com. There is no coupon code required. Okay. It's available until midnight tonight, and then the price jumps to $980. It was supposed to be $980 today, but because of what just happened with this, we had a whole family meeting inside of chat today. I called thousands of our members into chat. I was like, hey, we had to tell everybody kind of what happened to make everybody aware so nobody else falls for it. But in honor of this, I want to extend this sale for just one more day for anybody that's here to make you guys realize that there is no cutting corners. There are no shortcuts to reaching your goals. The path to your goals are here. They're clear. They're laid out. Thousands of members in your trading group have already walked down that road, and they're giving you the green light, telling you, hey, come on in. The water is just fine. But you have to follow that path. Trying to cut corners and trying to get rich quick will lead you to nothing other than disappointment and failure. Go to ttgoffer.com. Everything on that page is included for the entire year for just $500. We do offer you a double your money back guarantee to give you guys peace of mind. I don't think you need it, but if you can't make the $500 membership fee back at least one time, we'll give you back $1,000. That's the way that it works. The double your money back guarantee is right there on the checkout page. It's in black and white. Just go read it. I ask you to go through our courses, pass our quizzes, attend one study group. And if you do those things and you're still unable to make enough winning trades to equal the $500 at least one time, then we will not just give you back the $500, we'll give you back $1,000 for wasting your time. I don't think you need the double your money back guarantee, considering our refund rate is less than 2.5%. And our retention rate amongst members that either renew their annual membership or have upgraded to become lifetime members is 78%. So I really don't think you need it. We're 5.6 stars out of 5 rated on Trustpilot with almost 2,600 reviews. You guys, I don't think need the double your money back guarantee, but if it gives you peace of mind, it's my way to prove to you how much that we believe in the platform that we've created and its ability to help you reach your goals. Start capitalizing on some of these opportunities. Stop falling for, the get rich quick schemes and the scams, and stop being disappointed and start actually progressing towards the goals that you've all set out for yourselves. Go to ttgoffer.com. Everything on that page is included for the $500. The $500 that you pay to join, you're going to grandfather yourself in for your renewal price at $500. So let's say next year our membership is $2,400. Doesn't matter. You'll only pay $500 to renew. The price you pay when you join is the price you pay when it comes time to renew. And again, I'm confident you're going to want to renew, considering 78% of our members do. So again, just go to ttgoffer.com. Again, that is ttgoffer.com. TTGoffer.com. If you have any questions, send a text message to 1-888-621-2127. If you need any help signing up or you need or you have any questions, send a text message to 1-888-621-2127. 1-888-621-2127. That phone number is right down there at the bottom of your screen. If you have any questions or you need help signing up, we are fully transparent. Anything you want to know, any questions you have, ask. Just text that number. It's right down there at the bottom of your screen. Again, go to ttgoffer.com. We're going to extend that $500 price point for one more day. Okay. Josh Raposo says it's legit. I've used it and made money and paid for my 6-month membership. They've been a member for 6 months. So there you guys have it. Again, go to ttgoffer.com. Any questions? Text us 1-888-621-2127. You have until midnight tonight, and that $500 offer is no more. And then you will be looking at a $980 price point. All right. So there we have it. One thing that I will say, guys, is regarding all of these monkeypox stocks, VRAX today, APDN, GOVX. These are all monkeypox stocks. I will say this. And maybe I'm wrong about this, but this is what I'll tell you. Okay. Treat these stocks as a trade, not an investment. These are not good companies. There's a reason these stocks are $1. There's a reason that, or they were $1 before this monkeypox news came about. I have been through a long list of these disease-related pops in penny stock biotech world. One time in 18 years, one time was there staying power behind these moves, and that was COVID. One time did this actually turn into a global pandemic where there actually was months and months and months of upside on these stocks. Some of you may not have been around to be trading during the Zika virus outbreak or the H1N1 swine flu outbreak. You had the exact same thing happen. The H1N1 and Zika dominated news headlines for a few days or a week or two, and then as quickly as it came, it left. And all of these stocks that went up hundreds of percent in a matter of days came crashing back down to eventually go lower than where they started before that news even came out. Oh, yeah, the SARS outbreak too. Yep, SARS. I forgot about that one too. SARS is another one. So I'm just telling you guys, do not fall in love with these, okay? Do not fall in love with these stocks. I would treat them as trades. They're not good companies. Treat them as trades. Okay? Treat them as trades. If you get these huge, big spikes, take your profit. I would not be looking for GOVX to go to $50. I wouldn't be looking for VRAX to go to $50. I wouldn't be looking for APDN to go to, $20. I do not think that these stocks will have staying power. Okay? Because I do not believe that monkeypox is going to have staying power, but I could be wrong. It's only happened one time, and that was COVID. So it's only happened one time. That was COVID. So I'm not betting on that. I'm not betting on that being the outcome there. Does anybody have any questions for me on anything that we just discussed, or anybody have any questions on any particular stock before we break? Again, more earnings this week, and you got Fed minutes on Wednesday, and then you have Jackson Hole on Friday. quick check back in on Palo Alto. Yeah, Palo Alto is back to the upside, guys. I'm not sure what happened there, but Palo Alto now back to green. NNE, Nano Nuclear Energy. I don't know enough about this, Nicola, honestly. I know this was a stock that everybody went crazy with in June. I don't know enough about it from a fundamental standpoint to talk about like a long-term portfolio position. For me right now, it's just a trading vehicle. You got a huge support level at 6. I have not researched it, Nick or Nicola. I haven't been, I mean, honestly, I took the last couple of weeks off. I just had the birth of my daughter, so I was not actively trading for the last 2 weeks. So I have not really had a chance to research NNE. It was not at the top of my list of stocks that I'm focused on right now. But from a trading standpoint, $6 major support, $12 resistance. If you get through 12, 16 is the next area of resistance that I would be looking for there. I am bullish on nuclear, right? I am bullish on nuclear power, but I just don't know enough about NNE from a fundamental standpoint. I have not looked into it enough to decide if it's something that I would ever consider for my long-term portfolio. Right now, I'm not, but that doesn't mean that may not change in the future. I usually will not put new issues in my long-term portfolio until they report a couple quarters of earnings. So it's very rare that if a company starts trading in May, I'm not going to put it in my long-term portfolio in July or August, right? I usually will wait a couple of quarters for that company to come out and give you different earnings, like Palantir. Palantir came out. Palantir is a stock I've recently put in my long-term portfolio in the low 20s. I did not buy it back here in 2021 when the company first went public at the end of 2020. I did not buy it then. I also did not buy it in 2022. The reason why I did not buy it in 2022 is because the company was very heavily reliant on government contracts, and I wanted them to build out. I wanted them to build out that private side of their business and focus on, customers outside of the government. And once you came into 2024, then all of that started to change. The company started on this earnings release is when they really started focusing in on that side of their business. And I said, okay, then this is a company that I want to buy. And then the buy is in there in the low 20s. And you can see now the stock is up at 32. So we're already up about 40% or so on our position there on Palantir. And I'm bullish on Palantir. I think Palantir has way more room to the upside over the years. There's also whispers of Palantir maybe being added to the S&P 500 after their most recent earnings. They qualify for the S&P 500. So that would bode well for the stock. If they were added to the S&P 500, that would bring buying into the name. So I'm bullish on Palantir long-term. I own it in the low 20s. It's also a stock that I'm going to buy for my daughter once I get her social security number and I can open up some accounts for her. That is one of the names that I'm going to buy for her too. All right. Ulta. I don't know what to think about Ulta, honestly. I think it's such an ugly looking chart. I know Warren Buffett just, made some purchases, but I don't know. To me, it's just an ugly chart. Like, look at this thing. This is a weekly chart. I don't know. I just don't see it. Like I just don't see anything here that makes me have high conviction one way or the other. So not high conviction for me on Ulta Beauty. The stock's gotten hit pretty hard in 2024. So I don't know. I don't really have one way or the other. I don't see it one way or the other. I don't see a real glaring short. I don't see a glaring long. And that's okay. You guys have to be able to, not every time you look at a chart, not every stock is going to be a great long or a great short. Like sometimes it's just a great non-trade, right? And right now I just don't see anything that, like, I would lean towards the short side, but that doesn't necessarily mean I think that this is like a grade A short setup. I think the short looks better than the long, but still not something I'm going to position in short myself. For me, it's a non-trade. Somebody asked about Chipotle. Chipotle, I think, will see some short-term headwinds after their CEO is basically being stolen by Starbucks. Chipotle is a fantastic business, and this company has grown leaps and bounds over the last several years. And one of the big reasons why Chipotle has done so well is their ability to control costs in a very highly inflationary environment. Okay. In the face of rising food costs, in the face of rising labor costs, Chipotle was able to maintain their margins and pass some of those costs onto the consumer to maintain margins, while also controlling a lot of those costs while we had that highly inflationary environment. And that's a part of the reason why in 2023 and then into 2024, Chipotle did so incredibly well. The stock also held up very well in 2022 when the markets were crashing, and a lot of that had to do with their ability to control those costs. Now, a lot of that has to do with the CEO. The CEO is a stickler for that. Okay, he is a drill sergeant when it comes to that stuff. The guy's brilliant. So now him being taken away from the company and moving over to Starbucks, I think is fantastic for Starbucks. I think it's great news for Starbucks, and I'm actually bullish on Starbucks for the next couple of years because of this guy. But, you know, I could see that being a headwind here for Chipotle. You put in a strong double bottom here at 48, but I'm not sold that 48 holds. I really think that the best place to be a buyer is around like 44. I think that's like a great place to be a buyer in the long-term portfolio, because with or without the CEO, Chipotle is a fantastic business. But I think, you know, investors might be a little shaky to see how does this new CEO, they have an interim CEO, but they're going to go out and look for a new CEO. How is that person going to perform? We don't know yet. So there could be some early headwinds there on Chipotle. But from a trading standpoint, strong double bottom at 48 support. All right. All right, folks. So that kind of, hey, Mike, thank you for teaching me the TG triangle last year. I still use it. It's my favorite. It's your favorite. I saw a pre-market on ALZN today, 150. Yeah, ALZN was a monster today. Yeah, you learned my TG triangle pattern. Yes, it is a beauty. It is a beauty. Great move today in ALZN. Small caps have really heated up these last couple of days. ALZN is not a monkeypox name, but was a huge. They had their own news today. It's a biotech. They had their own news. But yeah, these monkeypox stocks have really kind of lit up some of these small cap biotech names, and have heated up the small cap sector, which is nice. All right, folks. So that wraps it up. That does it here for me. Palo Alto recovering after that quick pullback. Now back above that resistance. Now back to 352. So we are back above 345, which is that resistance level. We have to see if we open up there, then this one might be on the watch list for a possible trade for us for tomorrow. All right. So that's it, folks. Again, go to ttgoffer.com, grab one of those spots for the $500 price point before the price jumps to $980. It is going to be available up until midnight tonight. If you have any questions, just send a text message to 1-888-621-2127. Again, that is 1-888-621-2127. Text that number with any questions. Also, if you're a current trial, a previous trial, or maybe you're a previous member and you want to join for the 500, you must text that number. We've got to whitelist your email address to give you guys that discount, 1-888-621-2127. Otherwise, you go straight to ttgoffer.com. Everything on that page is included for $500. You've got the double your money back guarantee. I don't think you need it, but it's there for peace of mind. I'll see you guys all in chat tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Subscribe to the channel and smash that like button. Turn on notifications. Don't ever miss out.